Hello and welcome back to my channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up & Co. And welcome to Japan at the Fuji International Speedway for round 7 of our GR4 Scirocco Championship. A 2.8 mile clockwise circuit, 16 corners. We're about 65 miles southwest of Tokyo City. Now the course itself, originally conceived as an American style super speedway, it was completed as a road course and opened officially in January 1966, and from that point on there have been all sorts of championships running here. A lot of Japanese championships running from here as well. Not always one of the fan favourites, if I'm honest, one of the drivers' favourites, this circuit, but always dramas here, so I'm not expecting anything less from these Scirocco drivers. Now, before we start, just going to go through the top 5 because I haven't done this for a little while in the championship as it stands. So we've got Pablo, who's had a great couple of last rounds. He's got himself into the lead now on 191 points, followed closely behind on 184 by 80. Then we've got Tiddy Milk in third on 173, and then there's a big gap back then to Bandit on 137 in fourth, with Love Rocket Rods in fifth on 134. So really it's them top 3 that are battling out at the moment for the championship. So I'm not going to waffle on too much because we know what it's like with the old time restraints here on these longer replays. And right, we're going to get it underway then, and we're going to go through the grid. So it's 27 laps round here, by the way, and all tyres to be used, minimum of 3 laps on the hard tyres. So Bandit is in pole position. We've got AD in second. We've got Love Rocket Rods in third. Robert Racing in fourth. Hodgie, who joins us, welcome to Hodgie, in fifth place. Pablo in sixth, our championship leader. Ginger in seventh. Carlsberg in eighth. Rick in ninth. DB in 10th. Smith in 11th. And Firepower in 12th. Just want to say thank you to Carlsberg as well for the replays. Right, watch those lights. Let's get this 27 lap out the way. Oh, I knew it was that. I think that was Pablo, wasn't it? Had a terrible start. He just went for the jump start, and going to pay for that. It's going to start dropping down the field as they come down to turn 1. This really tight right-hander. Now, I think Love Rocket Rods might get himself up into second place there with a good move on the Bandits. The Bandits gone back a couple of spots from the pole position. Aid's got himself up into the lead. Coming through Coca-Cola now. Around this 100R, this never-ending right-hander just goes on and on and on. That tightens up as you come around this second part of it, about here. Sweep across to the left and into the hairpin for the first time. So 80 is Love Rocket Rods up to second place. Bandit in third. He might be losing that third to Robert Racing. He does. Robert Racing's got him there as they come down now towards turn 10 at Dunlop. As you get him, no, Bandit's got it back. He's on the inside, but Robert Racing might have the outside, but he'll have the inside going through turn 11 and 12. He does, so remains in third place. So Robert Racing third, then Bandit in fourth. Then we've got Rick up to, well, I was going to say fifth, but all of a sudden Carlsberg came through with a good move. So actually Carlsberg up to fifth place as they now hit next turn 15. And into the final corner at 16. Rick's there in 6th. Then we've got Hodgie in 7th. Hodgie hasn't he's joined us late on in the championship here. Very late on, actually. We're in round 7, so he's had a bit of a sabbatical. He's decided to join us, and I know he's in my Wednesday championship as well that I cover. So welcome to Hodgie here in the Scirocco's. Perhaps just getting his getting old feel for it again. Pablo in 8th now, so terrible start from Pablo. That start didn't help him at all, did it? I just jump back to the beginning because this is, or the start, because I say the start, the front, because this is where most of the passing opportunity is going to be, as we see Love Rocket Rods having an attempt at AD at turn 1, but didn't quite get that done. A little bit too far back under the brakes, and Love Rocket Rods though looking pretty strong here. I'd imagine these two guys are on the softs. Yeah, Robert Racing also on the softs. Then we've got Carlsberg soft, Bandit on the medium, so Bandit our first medium runner. And we've got Rick in 6th, also on the mediums. Hodgie's there in 7th on the mediums. Pablo on the soft. So Soft tyres. Pablo was looking for a good start, but didn't get it, did he? And now he's got to fight his way through a pack of cars to get anywhere near the front. But we know that he can come strong at the end of these races. It's pretty evident in the last couple of rounds, hasn't it? It's proved it, sitting at the top of the championship table. So we'll see how he gets on here. So Pablo is in 8th on those soft tyres. Then the first hard runner in Smith in 9th, with Ginger attacking him. He's also on the hard, so these are probably all the hard boys here. And we've got medium on DB, Firepower on the softs at the back there. So Firepower not having the greatest start, but really need to try and clear some of them cars on those soft tyres, and not going to last very long, I don't think. So we'll see how long they do actually last. As I say, they always get, because these are GR4s, it's not quite the same as GR3s, obviously, so fuel and tyres maybe not quite as bad. I would imagine the tyres may be the first to go, but we'll see, I'm guessing. So 80 is still from Love Rocket Rods in 2nd, not going to make a move there. Robert Racing in 3rd. Then we've got a battle here for 4th place between Colesberg and Bandit does get his nose there in turn 1 and takes that 4th place from Colesberg, and now Rick's sniffing all over the back. Colesberg's behind, right up his exhaust pipe, seeing if he can have a little go at Colesberg, but I don't think he did. Fuji's there too, and so is Pablo. So these 5 cars really closed up, and Colesberg will have an opportunity. This is another little opportunity here at the hairpin. If you can get it up the inside alongside the car, you'll be okay. You can actually do a bit of a switchback here as well. It's a really wide part of the circuit, so it gives you plenty of space to get your turn done there. But they come down now to Dunlop again. Colesberg, Rickett is in 6th, then Hodges 7th, Pablo 8th, so all still the same. Then Smith still in 9th, DB 10th, Ginger's dropped out to 11th, Firepower in 12th. So battle the hard tyres here at the rear of the field, with the exception of Firepower, but these 3 are battling it out for position. Oh, and Smith's gonna... Oh, he was in 9th anyway, wasn't he? I was going to say he's taken DB, but he was there in 9th anyway. Now, here we are at the final corner here at Panasonic, and this is also another good passing opportunity. Various different lines through here. You can go narrow, you can go very wide, and then square it off. All sorts of lines through that final corner. I don't know actually which is best. Probably the wider line, and square it off, I would have thought, rather than the tighter one. Gives you a better exit if you square it off, but this is one of the longest straights here at Fuji. So plenty of opportunity for slipstream. We know it's not the greatest, but with the straight this long, you'd think it would have some effect, but at the moment, not much, as DB now leads it into 9th. Ginger will have a go at Smith and gets that done at turn 1, so actually better on the brakes there, so maybe a little bit of slip did help Ginger there. He's got himself to 10th. Firepower still at the back there. But our leader, 80, who's got that fastest lap at the moment, a 1:48.3, and on those soft tyres are still out in front. But Robert Racing now has taken Love Rocket Rods. Was that at turn 1? I think it probably was. Yes, it was. Just see it there, didn't we? I hate this time thing on this game. Can't do too many replays either, because the time just runs out. But a good pass from Robert Racing into turn 1, and he's up to 2nd place. Love Rocket back to 3rd. So Robert Racing then looking pretty strong. He's going to now have a go at see if he can get onto the back of 80, and he might pull Love Rocket Rods with him. It's a beautiful circuit. It might not be one of the favourites, but the area itself is beautiful. The circuit itself, sitting in the shadow of Mount Fuji, that magnificent volcanic piece of artwork in the background there, on the island of Honshu. As they come down to Dunlop again for the 4th time, but no change at the top. And in 4th, still with Colesberg 5th, Rick in 6th, Pablo still there in 7th. Hodgie has dropped to 8th actually. Looks like Pablo's taken a place there over Fuji, but these guys are still just beginning to spread themselves out a little bit. Quite as close as they were early in the race, but I guess there's no surprise there really. These soft tyres, especially on that left side, being that it's a clockwise circuit, will start to feel a bit of pain. Mediums should be a little bit better. Maybe 4 laps in. Not going to predict when these guys are going to be coming in, but we will obviously find out as they get further on in the race. Now, obviously, the only ones on the hard tyres are Ginger, Smith. I think one more wasn't there. Certainly Ginger and Smith are on hard tyres, so they're probably going to be the ones that will run a slightly longer shift on those. It's going to be the guys on the softs that will be coming in early in the race. But BB's detached himself from Ginger, Smith and Firepower. Still in 9th, but he seems to be getting a little bit of a push on now, but there's a massive gap between these lads and the main group ahead of him, with Fuji at the rear of it. So they're all coming round 100R now to the end of it, and the other guys are just coming into it, so it's the gap. So they've got a big gap to bridge to get back onto the back of these, but of course with the stops and everything and the strategies that are going to be involved, the names are going to be dropping and swapping in that tower to the left as we go through. So AD now looks comfortable ahead of Robert Racing, with Love Rocket Rods still sitting there in 3rd. And this is going to be the race of the soft tyre runners here. I wonder whether they'll just follow each other's strategy here. Should be able to, I guess. I mean, I'm basing it on the GR3, but you should be able to get at least 8 laps out of the soft tyre. Might be slightly different in these GR4 cars, but should be able to get about 8, depending on how you save them and protect them. But these guys will be, I think, following each other in. I think if I was Love Rocket Rods, I was in this position now, or Robert Racing for that fact. I think you just kind of watch to see what the leader's doing, really. That's assuming they know that he's on the same tyre. That's not to say they do. So they're the sort of secrets that are kept within the team's garage, but these sort of things do get leaked now and then, and these do have spies in the camp, so sort of strategies do get found out, or at least part of them. So if these guys, assuming these guys do know that they're on the same tyres, then why has he put his headlights on there from Robert Racing? Or perhaps there was a little bit of a together there. So he's probably just saying a sorry or a thank you or whatever it was to Love Rocket Rods. But yeah, so if I was in their position, I'd just follow AD, and if when he comes in, I'd come in. At least you know you're not going to be going off of the strategy that they're going off of. I mean, it all really depends, I guess, on how the car feels and what the tyres and feels like, but what you don't want to be doing is wearing them down too thin, because then you're going to be in trouble. But Bandit, look at Bandit in 4th place now. He's on the medium tyres and he's really got himself up to within, he's got half a second now. He's going to have to go all the way back round. There's the penalty zone there. He's just gone through it, so he's going to have a lap now. But if he can get himself close to the back of Love Rocket Rods and Robert Racing, which he's left the rest behind, he's on a bit of a charge here, and he could get himself up close to the top of this race. So he's coming strong. Again, we know another one, a bit like Pablo, who does tend to be better on the near the end of these races. He pushes hard as well, so maybe that was the strategy for him, thinking I'll start on the mediums, I'll push like I normally push on the softs. I'll be coming in after 2 laps, so maybe he thought I'll go for the mediums, but Love Rocket Rods is really trying now to get past Robert Racing. He's up the side of him now. That's a better exit from Love Rocket Rods as they come down towards Dunlop now. Through 300R and down to Dunlop, and Robert Racing, as he backed off, well, Love Rocket's got it, and he's going to be on the inside as well through 11 and 12. But Robert Racing's fighting back, and he's got that second place better through there, and then a bit of a touch between the two of them. Look at Bandit now. It didn't take long for him to be on the back of them, did he? This is how it happens when they start fighting, and this is working for 80 up front. This is exactly what he wants to see. Not only is it Robert Racing and Love Rocket, we've got Bandit going up the inside. What a move from Bandit, gives them all, but has he got the exit? No, he hasn't. It's three aside, all in the line here, going through. But to start this start and finish now, it's coming up to start lap 8, and they're literally, oh hang on, no, Robert's got in, so Robert Racing has gone in after 7 laps on those soft tyres, so he's had enough. Wants to get some clean air as well. There's a lot of dirty air that was getting generated between them three then, but Love Rocket then, he stays out into second, so he's not following Robert Racing's strategy, is he? Having said that, he might have been a bit boxed in because Bandit was up the side of him. But Bandit doing a terrific job getting himself right up there as Rick and Pablo now fighting it out. Pablo's up to 5th, Oji to 6th. So now we got our championship leader, Pablo, having a look at Rick. Rick grabbing a lot of that bollard on the inside of Coca-Cola. This is the tyre shred around here on the left side. It just goes on and on and on this corner, and then it's hard on the brakes into the hairpin at 6 and 7. And then down towards 8 into 300R, and then down into Dunlop. So still Rick holding off Pablo in 4th. Pablo's going for a move. Oh, that's a good move and a late lunge, but got it done cleanly as well. Let's have a quick look at that. That's a great move. On the outside now, then he does a switchback. Here he goes now. Bang, there, and gets that done. Lovely move if the cameraman can catch up, and gets it done clean as you like as well through turn 11 into 12 and into 13. So up to 4th goes Pablo. Rick then into 5th place. We've got Hodgie still just sitting there in 6th place. Those mediums. Sun just starting to come out now. We think it's going to be a dry race. We don't get sun very often around these parts, but not predicting any rain, so that's good news for everybody, not only the drivers but for the spectators as well. It got us soaking last time we was here in Japan at Suzuka, so not going to be getting wet again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. It's, as I say, it's not predicted to be like that. But as Rick now pulls out and has a look at Pablo again here at turn 1, he's going to get that done, is he? He does. Pablo went really wide and still going out wide, kept it really wide, kept out of the way of Rick, but then lost a little bit of ground because he grabbed a lot of that AstroTurf and grass out on the outside of the corner. That's brought Hodgie into play, and he's gone right away through, much quicker through Coca-Cola there for Hodgie. What a move on to Pablo now. Is Pablo struggling with his tyres now? That front left is, well, it's about halfway gone. I wouldn't say they were terrible, but obviously Hodgie being on the mediums and Rick on the mediums, they look in better shape, so probably had something to do with it. He just couldn't quite get it turned, could he, Pablo? And we've got DB. Not sure he's catching these guys ahead of him. He's certainly left the guys behind, but been on his own now for quite a few laps as we're into lap 9. Robert Racing back to 8th. Well, he came in, didn't he? And he's come out on the hard tyres, so he's come out in 8th place. He's getting those hard tyres out the way, so he's going to lead the mediums to the final stint. Then we've got Colesberg. Looks like he's probably been in as well, come out on those medium tyres. Smith still on the hard tyres with firepower on the softs. Ginger back there in the mediums. He's obviously been in as well and come out on the medium tyres. But our leader, 80, staying out there on those soft tyres with Bandit, who's in second. Mediums, he's obviously going to stay out. Love Rocket's in now, so Love Rocket has decided that 9 laps is enough on those. As these guys start lap 10. Vic up to third now. Fuji fourth, Pablo in fifth. It's quite a long pit stop here at Fuji. Just about got into his pit box now as Love Rocket rods, and he's going to be taken by Robert Racing and Colesberg while he's stationary in pit lane. Although no, he's out now, so fuel wise they probably didn't have to put any fuel in. It was probably just a tyre change, and he's come out on the hard tyres, slotted in 8th place behind Robert Racing. So these two guys are back together again. These were like this before they went in, and in fact I was going to say Robert Racing has done the undercut on Love Rocket rods, but actually he's come out in exactly the same position. So it kind of is the undercut, but it isn't. He's got out in front of him, but he was in the same position anyway when they went in. So we'll see. It's all over. It's all to do with AD now, and when he decides to come in as to whether these guys take the lead of this race. So 8th for Love Rocket, Colesberg in 9th, Smith in 10th, Firepower now up to 11th with Ginger in 12th place. Some way behind at the moment is Ginger. Still, AD stays out. So halfway through his tyres, got plenty of fuel. We've got another guy coming in, I think that might be Rick. Yeah, he's staying into the right hand side and into pit lane he goes. So in from 4th. Going to put Pablo up to 4th now. Fuji to 3rd. Bandit staying out on those medium tyres. Should, in fact, really, in theory, Bandit should have a little bit more for AD on those medium tyres and better nick than AD's soft tyres. But of course, are slightly quicker tyre. But obviously, with the tyres the way they are, AD's machine, then you would think Bandit would have a little bit of an advantage. But at the moment, still got a big gap as Bandit runs it wide out there. Uses all that runoff on the right hand side. Should be okay there. I don't think that gives you a penalty out there. Fuji in 3rd on debut here in the Scirocco's. Fuji, I don't think he's come in as a wild card. If he has, I can't think who he's replaced. So maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Maybe he has actually joined the championship just late on. Obviously, it's not going to be getting up to the top, challenging for the championship. But if he is in the championship, then at least he's going to get some points for the last 4 rounds that we've got, including this one. Unbelievably, round 7 already, so over halfway, almost 3/4 of the way now into the championship as Bandit now comes in from 2nd. Fuji's staying out, but AD's still staying there in 1st. He's not having it. He's going to run these a long way on these soft tyres. Now, there's me and my prediction about should only get 8 laps out of these soft tyres, and AD, I mean, I know he's had a bit of a luxury being out in front. He's had a nice big gap. He's probably been able to fuel save, etc, etc, etc. But at the moment, getting 12 laps out of soft tyre around here, that is some going from AD, and this is going to put him in a good position for when he does go in for his stop. So how he's managing to keep these tyres as they are, he's obviously been very neat and tidy and just taking it easy and probably not wheel spinning the car too much, not letting it slide, just letting it come round these and roll round these corners under its own steam. Certainly not short shifting, not at this stage anyway. So let's see. I'm going to stay with him anyway because it's just coming out of Panasonic now, final corner. And if he starts to pull over to the right, which it does look like he is doing now, yep, he's into pit lane. So our leader is in. So let's see now. So we've got leaders in. Fuji, he will stay out because he's on the medium tyres. Pablo is on the softs. Fancy is probably going to follow AD in. He will because he's come right over to the right hand side as well. So Pablo's going to be in. Then we've got DB on the mediums. He'll probably stay out, but DB up to fourth now. Actually, get himself to second here because both AD and Pablo are in, aren't they? So DB up to what could be second place. We've got the Bandit on the hard tyres. He's obviously going to stay out now. Robert Racing, these are the guys that are going to be close. He's in 6th and 7th now. Robert Racing and Hodge and AD has come out in second place. So he is ahead of Robert Racing and Love Rocket Rods, which was his main objective. So that's worked nicely, and he's come out on those medium tyres, meaning he's going to leave the hards to the end. So AD then in second place with our new leader Hodgie at the front of this race now. He's also looking good on those medium tyres, is Hodgie. Really under any need for a pit stop yet. Now, I do know, because I know Hodgie, he is one of our regulars here at the Ultimate Racing League, even though he's had a little bit of a break. His number is number 70, as you can see on the car, so ignore the 67 that he's got on the back of his car. Too sure what that is. Maybe that's a tribute to someone, I don't know, but his number is number 70. As he comes out through Panasonic and onto the straight, this massive long straight, almost a mile long this straight here, one of the longest in the game and probably in the world, I would have thought, of motorsport. As he comes over the line to start lap 14. He's not got the fastest lap though. He's got Bandit's gone out of 1:48.3 and he's down in 4th place. There's AD though. He's on the medium tyres. Now let's see how he gets on with his challenge of getting to the back of Hodgie, as we see a few cars diving in. I think there's Bandit, there's Robert Racing. It can't be Robert Racing again. Yes, it is Robert Racing and Love Rocket Rod. So they've done their minimum requirements on those hard tyres and they're going to have a fairly long stint left on those mediums, aren't they? So we'll see how they fare with that. DB is in 3rd place. He hasn't come in either. So he's sort of doing a Hodgie. He's staying out on those medium tyres. Oh, but gets that corner wrong. Runs it a little bit wide. Did well actually to get it back on track, because that's the best place to be out there. He's just trying to get the dirt off him now, because it's fortunately it's not wet, because that would have been game, set and match, I think, now, had that been a little bit slippy out there. So it's dry conditions, which has helped, but obviously just trying to get the dirt off his tyres. Olsberg in 4th place with Rick behind in 5th. Now these two have not been too far away from each other throughout this entire race up to this point. So these two have been having their own sort of duel. So we'll see how it all turns out at the end. And we've got Pablo 6th now. He's not really made any improvements on where he is, and it's one of these tracks you can kind of get lost a little bit, in the sense that you can just, once you get detached from other drivers, it can seem a little bit lonely out there, and it can seem a long race. But obviously with another stop for all the drivers, all of them, because we know that some of them have come and done two already, but with most of the drivers having to do another stop, Pablo is still in a good position there in 6th. He's going about to grab 5th, because DB is in pit lane now. There goes Pablo up to 5th place. DB not into his box yet. He's just coming in now. Bandit will also grab another spot along with Robert Racing. So Bandit will take 6th place with Robert Racing grabbing 7th. Well, actually, he doesn't grab 7th because Pablo comes out at DB. So he comes out in between Robert Racing and Pablo. So DB, no fuel required. So that means he's probably just going to do the minimum amount on the hard tyres. He's in 7th, just ahead of Robert Racing now in 8th. So also got some fresh medium tyres on. This is the driver, him and Love Rocket Roger came in, and there you go, just proof of it round 100R there, that the grip levels in comparison with a cold hard tyre, it's incomparable really, isn't it? As Robert Racing up to 7th place now. Love Rocket Rods is trying to stick with Robert Racing because these two have had their battle throughout this race, and it's down there in 9th place after a good start. Love Rocket Rods just now on those medium tyres, but yeah, him and Robert Racing both coming in quite just doing the minimum requirements, so they've got no more stops to do now, unless they on a 3-stop of course. But we'll see how what happens there. Now our leader is now AD. He's gone back into the lead because he's taken Hodgie, who's in pit lane now. He'll be out shortly as Colesberg grabs 2nd off him, and Rick will also probably grab, no he won't because Hodgie's coming out now, so Hodgie will remain in that top 3 then. So from the lead into 3rd place goes Hodgie, but he's on those hard tyres with Rick behind him on hards as well, so it's going to be a little case of who's got the best tyres here now. Obviously Rick's got a lap or 2 more wear on his. Hodgie's obviously brand new, so Hodgie's going to be slightly more of a disadvantage early in this lap, just until they get up to temperature. But Hodgie is still holding off Rick in 3rd now as they come through the hairpin down through 7 and 8 towards Unlock at the bottom of the hill here. Is Rick going to have a move here? He's not. He's very close to the back of Hodgie though. Maybe just give him a little tap there, just a little bit of a hurry up through 11 and 12. Rick just sitting there behind Hodgie. I think he's waiting to see what he can grab, if he can grab anything along the start and finish straight as they come through 14 and 15, and then into Panasonic turn 16. So Rick, let's see if he does get a better exit through 16 then. He looks like he's had a better one actually. Rick goes a little bit wide now. Let's see. We know that this slipstream does take some time to work. I don't think it's going to be close enough, at least not close enough for a pass down at 1. It's just about coming into play now, but you're just about to reach the braking zone. It's way too far back there. It's a good couple of cars lengths back there. You're not going to go for a move from that far back. Well, you can, but it'll end up in disaster, I'll tell you that. So Pablo there in 5th. So I think he has gained a place there, hasn't he? But AD is his closest rival in the championship in 2nd, and he's leading this race. So actually there could be tight at the top if it stays like this in terms of points. However, that will probably mean that AD might take that championship lead back again from Pablo if he stays where he is now. Depends if he can get himself up to closer to AD, then it'll be really tight at the top. And I'm wondering actually, I know who we haven't got, who I've just thought about, Tiddy Milk. Now he's up there, isn't he? He's in the top 3 in the championship and he's not here tonight, so I'm wondering whether he's just not here and not available, or whether Hodgie is coming as his replacement for this round. Well, obviously he's not here, but whether it's a permanent thing, temporary thing, or whether Fuji is now coming as part of the championship, or whether he's coming as cover. We'll find out with the remaining 3 rounds that we've got, as we see Bandit in 6th place coming through turn 16 along the straight now. But he's got nothing to work off ahead of him. Behind him is Robert Racing in 7th, hold of the fastest lap as well at the moment, a 1:48.2. Medium tyres, remember he was one of the latest ones to be in pit lane and get his stop out of the way, so he has actually used all 3 tyres now as Robert Racing. So too has Love Rocket there in 8th. Obviously feel confident enough that they can get a fair few laps out. I mean, you should be able to get at least 12 laps out of these medium tyres, so they'll probably be okay, if I'm honest. I know they've had it on a few laps now, but there's, what are we, 18 out of 27, so yeah, in truth, should be okay. In fairness, it might just be the fuel that's a question mark, but they know what they're doing, these guys. DB in 9th, Ginger up to 10th now, Firepower 11th, and Smith down here in 12th. He's on those soft tyres he must have been in the last time around. We didn't see it, did we? But they look relatively new, those tyres. But being left behind now is Smith. It's Firepower, haven't seen too much of him either. In 11th place is on the medium tyres, so he's running them to the end. Ginger on the mediums as well, and I'm not sure if Ginger's done 2 stops now or not. If he's used all his tyres up to this point, then mediums are looking a little bit worse for wear, considering where we are in terms of laps left to do. But I don't think he's run the hards yet, or the soft. So he's one of them. I think he's only run a couple of compounds at the moment. DB ahead of him in 9th, we know, on the hard tyres, and they're relatively new as well. But our leader, AD, has got back to where he was before he came in. And, if anything, it's probably increased the lead that he's got ahead of everybody. Now he can, he obviously saved his soft tyres, so these mediums should be quite a breeze for him to get through to the end on these things without any dramas. So I think he just he really hasn't got a push, has he? Let's be honest. Got a massive gap back then to Colesberg, who's only just coming down towards turn 10 now. He's going through, where is he, through 14 and 15, so yeah, he's some way ahead of Colesberg. He's looking good in second though. So he'll be hoping he can stay where he is. I mean, again, he's got a lovely, he's not going to catch AD at this point, but Colesberg's got a nice gap back to 3rd place, Rick. So Colesberg's in a good spot. Rick is in 3rd place, but he's being shadowed all the way by Hodgie in 4th. And, with both on the hard tyres, it's going to be battle between these two now. Are they going over to the right hand side now? Are they both coming in? So they've done their minimum stints. They just stay into the right hand side. Sometimes it looks like they're going in, but they actually stay. No, they are definitely going in. So these two are in. So that means they're going to get taken by Pablo, who's going to move up into the podium spots with Bandit hot on his heels in 4th place. So Pablo, well, I did say, tends to come a little bit better later on in the races, and here he is in the 3rd place now for Pablo. I think he's done all his stops as well, so he's all the way through, but Bandit's got a better exit through 1, and he's going to take 3rd from Pablo, is he? No, Pablo's going to be on the inside. He's a brave man to go around the outside there, and Bandit, I don't think you're that brave. He might do the switchback. Classic move here at Fuji. Go to the outside, then switch it back to the inside, but now he's on that really long right-hander, and that's going to hurt his tyres being that far out. But he's going to get it done, because now he's going to be on the inside coming into the hairpin. But Pablo won't give up. This is the part I said where it's really wide section of the racetrack. But again, Bandit covering that right hand side as they come down into 10. But Pablo had a look, didn't get it done though, has to sit behind Bandit. So 4th place for Pablo. Now these are, here's Bandit's actually on the soft tyres, so Pablo's probably in a better place. Bandit's going to have a job and a half to try and keep these soft tyres the wraps. Still got 8 laps to go. Actually got 7 as when they cross the line now. Still 7 to run, and Bandit he's picked up half a second, so just what Pablo wanted to see. But Bandit is pushing hard on those tyres, and I'll be surprised if he's going to get another 7 lap. Well, he'll get them. I imagine he'll get them out of them, but I'm sure what state they're going to be in by the time we get to the end of this race. But Pablo will again, he might not know this, so he's going to be pushing as hard as he possibly dare on those medium tyres. But he knows that really all he needs to do is just keep as close as he possibly can to the lead at 80, just to reduce the amount of points gained over him if it stays where he is in the front of this race. But so Pablo will be looking to at least get himself on the podium, but if he can just outside of it, he probably won't be too worried. Now, of course, what he has got to worry about is charging Robert Racing behind him on the medium tyres as well. Robert Racing does look like he's got a little bit more compared with the guys ahead of him. We know he's got that fastest lap still, a 1:48.2, but he does look like he's pushing a little bit harder than Pablo, those mediums. Running his lines lovely through there is Robert Racing. Goes that wider line. Actually, that's quite a narrow line that he does there. And then uses a lot of that runoff on the outside of the curb there for Robert Racing. So he's trying to hunt down Pablo, who's hunting down Bandit. Bandit trying to stay right out the... He's not allowing Pablo to take any sort of slip or draft off him. So I think he'd be okay, but then in 3rd place, Pablo right behind him in 4th. Then Robert Racing, he's definitely closing in 5th place. Then we've got Love Rocket Rods in 6th. It's like he's probably giving it as much as he can give at the moment. Certainly not out of it, but just beginning to lose touch a little bit with Pablo and Robert Racing ahead of him. And Rick Dubb in 7th. Fuji still in 8th, just falling back a little bit from Rick. Firepower up to 9th now, so this is more like it from Firepower. He's got himself up to 9th place, so gained on a couple of spots there. Remember, he's on those medium tyres, so he's on the way to the end as well. DB on the soft tyres. Now he must have come back in. He's in 10th place, and they look relatively new, those soft tyres. So I think he's come in to put those on. Ginger. Likewise, the soft tyres look brand new on his, and Smith still recovering and still at the back there on the soft tyres in 12th place. So not a great race for Smith here. Keep going back to 80, but not really much to see, is there? I mean, he's controlling this race. Tyres look good. Fuel presumably will be okay with 4 laps to run. So as I say, these guys are the ones with the fuel gauge in front of their eyes, so can't really tell myself whether that's going to be enough. They'll have all that data anyway in how many laps is left and how many they've got left in that fuel tank, so they'll know better than I will. Colesberg still in second place and looking really good for this podium finish. This might well be his first podium finish. I mean, we've had 7 rounds. I barely remember what happened at the start of this race, so I'm not going to remember what happened in all those 7 rounds, but I don't recall him ever being on the podium, so I'm going to say that I think this may well be his first podium of the season. Which, if he does stay where he is and he does get it, it's going to be a great result for him. Bandit in 3rd place. Now he's had a couple of wins, hasn't he, through this championship, and then some average races. But he's always there or thereabouts. Another one who comes strong at the end of these races. So he's up in 3rd, which, yeah, I'm sure he'll take that if he stays there. Pablo to 4th now. But he is definitely falling back into the clutches of Robert Racing. So Bandit is getting away from Pablo. I think Pablo's got an answer to Bandit, but has he got an answer to Robert Racing? At the moment, it doesn't look like it, because it looks like Robert Racing is on a real charge. We have just had another. Oh, now is that Pablo going in? So that's a bit of a shock for Pablo. What was he on then? Medium tyres, and he's going in. So maybe he hasn't. Is it the fuel? I don't know. It could be fuel. Who knows? We'll have to see what tyres he's in. The mediums anyway. But that's allowed Robert Racing up to 4th now. And Love Rocket to 5th with Rick in 6th. And actually, Rick has got a fastest lap. He's up to a 1:48.0. So Rick is now the fastest lap away from Robert Racing. 6th place with Fuji still there in 7th. And Pablo is out in 8th, and he did change and he's on those hard tyres, so he's leaving them hard tyres right to the last. He's going just on the minimum amount. I thought he'd done all his stops, but that's put paid to that nonsense I was coming out with about being on the podium, because I think that might be that for Pablo. I don't think he's going to get any better than that. There is another driver in pit lane now. Who's that? It's Firepower. He's just leaving now, and he's on the hard tyres as well. So another one who's left the hard compound to the very end. But AD, and he's in. Oh, now here we go. So this is definitely. Perhaps he's got to run hard as well. So I'm completely messing it up here, and I thought everybody's had their stops, but here we go. So hard tyres for AD then. Now this is going to work out even better for Colesberg, assuming he's not coming in. He is coming in by the looks of it. Who is he? Yes, he is. So he's coming in. So this is all changed now. All completely nonsense what I said earlier. Here you go. I just watched the race, I don't know nothing. But Bandit, clearly he knows something, because he's going to take the lead, assuming AD isn't coming out ahead of him. Where is AD? Just coming out now, so not quite. There he is in the distance. So Bandit's going to be right on his tail, because I think AD's on the hard tyres as well. Bandit on those softs. So, just as I was saying, he's got to be careful on those soft tyres not to push him too hard. Here he is with 3 laps to run. Looks like he's still got enough on his tyres and in the fuel to get something out of this race. AD on the hard tyres on the other hand. Obviously he's got to run these to the end now. They're not going to be as quick as the softs are well used, we know, from Bandit. So Bandit in a real opportunity. What can he do? Can he get the win? After everything we've been saying, well, I say we, what I've been saying throughout this race, it all come down to a close finish. He had such a big lead, didn't he, AD? All the way through, really. Even after his stops, he'd been coming out and been really comfortable. But now he's going to be not so comfortable. I mean, he's still in a good position, clearly, out there in front. As he comes through 15. It's Bandit just coming through 15 now. AD just going through 16. There he is. There's the gap. There's your gap between 1 and 2. Then we've got Robert Racing, who's up to 3rd place. Rick, he's on a 1:47.7 now, so he's into the 47s with his lap time, so he's really pushing, but I think it might just come a little bit too late for Rick. I don't think he's going to get much more out of this race. Famous last words, as I've said this all racing. Look what's happened. But he is fighting with Love Rocket back there in 4th and 5th place, but even if Rick finishes in 4th place, he'll be well pleased with that, especially if he gets that fastest lap as well. And Love Rocket Rod's really closed in on the brakes there onto the back of Rick, to the point I thought he was actually going to hit him. So what are we now, on the penultimate lap? So just over 5 miles to run of this race now, left to run I should say. We've got 80 still leading it, from Bandit in 2nd, from Robert Racing in 3rd, Rick in 4th, with Love Rocket here in 5th place. Then we've got Fuji in 6th, Colesberg in 7th, just dropped back down a little bit Colesberg, so off the podium now. Pablo in 8th, DB in 9th, Ginger in 10th, Smith in 11th, who's gained another place, and Firepower there in 12th after his stop. But this is probably where we want to be. Bandit is slowly clutching in, but they're coming to the start of the final lap. I think 80 might have just done enough. Stick my neck out and say that now, but as he crosses the line, 2.8 miles left to run here at Fuji. So what a race. I mean, it's been a great race, all sorts of swapping and changing and things going on, but 80 really, he's had it, hasn't he, from the start, to be fair. He wasn't on pole position, but he got himself into the lead of the race at this point after turn 1 and lap 1, after bad start from our leader Pablo. And 80 has never really looked back, but he's had a bit of a pressure at the end here, and he's not looked back. I think he's looking back now. I think he's constantly looking back now, because he can see Bandit is closing in, and he's closing in quickly. As we've got half a lap to run, and this could be an absolute belter at the end of this lap. Here we go. I'm going to stay with this. Why not? Everything else looks pretty settled back there, and why do we want to be anywhere else anyway? This is for the win. Final lap. These are your two leaders here. 80 on those hard tyres, Bandit on those soft tyres, well used soft tyres, but 80 going through 15 now. He's got one more corner to do, and I think he might have just done enough, but he's really been put under some severe pressure at the end as Bandit goes to that really tighter line. Now, does he get a better run? I don't think he's got enough to the end of this, to the line here. 80 is going to grab it. He's going to grab it by his fingernails. But what a race. Congratulations to 80, but Bandit, congratulations to him. What a good battle in the end. So well done to 80. He gets victory. Bandit, really good race in the end, gets 2nd. And Robert Racing, I think he's already doing the swerving, so he's already pretty pleased with that 3rd place. Rick in 4th with the fastest lap as well. He done well, almost got himself on the podium. Love Rocket in 5th. Well done to him. Hodgie, good debut there on 6th place. Colesberg in 7th. Probably was hoping for a little bit more there, but he'll certainly take it. And then that gap back to our championship leader Pablo, and he's going to lose some points here after this round, especially with 80 coming across in 1st place. So Pablo in 8th. Didn't quite work out in the end, did it? Ginger in 9th, will stay in 9th, just ahead of DB in 10th. There's DB, and then we've got Smith, who's going to grab that 11th place ahead of Firepower, who will be coming in 12th. So that is your round 7 completed here from the Fuji International Speedway in Japan. round 8 will be coming from Germany. We'll go back to Europe to the Grand Prix of the Nürburgring, and it's going to be another cracking race down in Deutschland. So we're going to, well, hopefully you'll join me for that one, and be the same time next week. So thank you for watching. Remember, I'll say it every week, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you again for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.